Several years ago, I met a nurse that worked for a children's hospital, and I was eager to hear their perspective because this hospital was world renowned for their quality, innovation, and ability to problem solve. And what I heard from this nurse actually surprised me a bit. She stated that leadership is always trying to make things more complex than it needs to be. If I see a problem, I should just be able to solve it. I don't need to go through all of these steps to do so. And I would venture to say that that opinion that she had isn't unique. I think it's only natural for us to see a problem and to immediately jump to action to solve whatever it is that is bothering us. However, there are several pitfalls to this approach. We might use the wrong resources. We might use too many resources. We might not use enough. And worst case scenario, we might even solve the wrong problem. We want to talk about why it's important to have a formalized problem-solving methodology to help us avoid these pitfalls. When I go into different facilities, I usually hear three things in common about their problem. We need more people, we need more space, or we need more money. Now, that might be a potential solution. Right? If you are having trouble to meet demand, easy, just hire more people. If you don't have enough space to store all of your work in progress, and money, of course, gets you both of those. You can hire more people, you can build a new facility, you can get new machines. Now, while these might be a viable solution to your problem, and sometimes they're applicable, you might actually be to the point to where you have so much capacity that you can no longer function with the amount of people that you need. So you might actually need more people. However, I would encourage you to stop and think about the problem before you just start throwing resources at it. Taking this moment to pause also helps us avoid the second pitfall, which is solving the wrong problem. Now you might ask, is it so bad if we solve the wrong problem? Well, I ask you, what would these companies say about solving the wrong problem? Right? Blockbuster didn't believe that people actually wanted videos delivered to them. They didn't believe that a little kiosk outside of a grocery store could actually take away from their business. Now you can see video rental kiosks, online streaming services, and what you don't see anymore is video rental stores. So if you want a movie made about you, about how you solved the wrong problem, then maybe it's not a bad idea. But I would venture to say that for the majority of us, we don't want that movie made about us. We don't want to be known as the leadership that solved the wrong problem. To help us avoid solving the wrong problem, we really need to sit down and we need to think about it. So you've probably heard this quote. There's several iterations of this. Which one actually came from Albert Einstein? I don't know. But in essence, he stated that if he had an hour to solve a problem, he'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and then 5 minutes thinking about solutions. Now, it's important to note there that not once is it mentioned that he would actually implement a solution to that problem. He's talking about spending an entire hour just trying to think about the problem itself, and then in the end, think about what he could do to fix it. Oftentimes, we don't do this. And in some cases, you don't need to. If you need gas in your car, you put gas in your car. That's an easy problem to solve. But if you're not meeting the demand of your customers, if your orders are always late, you can't just say, well, I need more people. So how then can we make sure that one, we're solving the right problem, and two, we're utilizing the resources that are actually needed for that? So the way that we teach is that you follow what's called the Deming Cycle, or the Plan, Do, Check, Act methodology for every problem. And there's 8 steps. Again, this is where that nurse came back saying that she didn't understand why they had all of these steps involved. So we want to clarify the problem. We want to break down the problem. We want to set a target so that we have a goal in mind of what we want to accomplish. We want to perform a root cause analysis. We want to develop a countermeasure, a solution to this problem, see those countermeasures through, confirm the results in the process, and then the last step, which is so important, we need to standardize those successful processes. So it doesn't help us to solve a problem if we don't communicate what those solutions are to other people. because then you're going to solve a problem, but nobody's going to follow through with what that solution is. So that last step is absolutely critical. If you look at this, for the first 5 steps, we're planning. That's keeping in rhythm with what Einstein was stating. That 6 steps when we're actually doing it, and then the final 7th and 8th step are checking our results and acting. And by following these steps, we can now make sure that we're solving the right problem and that we're utilizing the resources to their utmost potential. Now, that was a crash course explanation of why it's so important to solve the right problems and utilize the resources you need where they're needed. So what do you do now? Well, we have a problem-solving template that's available on our website. We have an online training course that provides even further in-depth information. And of course, you can always reach out to us by email or follow our YouTube channel. We hope that this video has given you a little bit more perspective and a little bit of thought as to how you solve your next problem. So the next time you have a problem, instead of jumping in, running head first, maybe stop, sit back, think about it for a minute. And when you're ready to learn more about how to implement this methodology, reach out. We're here to help. Have a great day, everybody.